Alright, I'm back again with one more Meliodas guide because a couple of things have changed since we made that last video about a month ago now. So now you can't bring magic into dungeons and things, so generating 5 magic orbs is actually a very core part of the gameplay now. And just quickly, I'm going to address some things that a lot of people are going to probably mention in the comments because they've done that in my previous video. And that is being Daisy as a character. So for the people that don't have Daisy, I'm going to give you two alternatives that exist that really can help her in a couple ways. First thing, super well, having Manny P10. This makes her alt cost 5 instead of 6, and that puts her on par with Daisy. The second option could be P7 Clotho, because she does 40% crit defense down for 30 seconds. And besides that, your third option is just Slater. Slater on X, with this skill right here. It decreases their crit resistance by 20, and it applies bleed. And his passive gives you 30% crit damage when an enemy is bleeding. So Slater gives you a full crit resistance strip and 30% crit damage. Now the main pain point of not having Daisy is the fact that you have to gather 6 orbs instead of 5 now. Another alternative could be to use another 5 unit like Tristan, Gale Thunder, Drake. But when you start putting in these units, your DPS drops pretty significantly. Now, since my last video, a couple things have changed for Meliodas. Firstly, I just got some passive levels on this dual sword for more attack. Secondly, I started running the 3-set Corrupted. This is slightly better than the 2-piece Mad Miner. And I also got a double crit damage roll on the Watcher Ring, which I'm very happy to be done with. It took me about 4,000 keys for this. Now, the reason we're on this set is because it gives you 7.5% all damage. So this applies to your darkness damage, your normal skill damage, crit damage, and stuff like that. So instead of just being crit damage, this helps your average move up, because it's not only on crits where you're doing more damage, it's across the board. We also get the 2-piece defense shatter, which I believe just removes 5% defense from a mob. Not very helpful, but it's something. Now this is obviously an in-game guide, but I want to address anybody that's like new or free to play. Meliodas at P6 can do very, very similar things. Very similar. You just have to work harder to make your build actually good. This isn't a whale only thing. This isn't, oh, it's P9 or nothing. P6 does it fine. P5 is a bit of a stretch, but P6 does it pretty good. There are many videos on the internet where they one-cycle everything with P6 melee. Galland, Urzen, Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3. There's P6 melee clears with all of that content. Now for the people that see the P9 melee and just immediately click off, your build just has to be actually good. And if your melee isn't working at P6, it's because your build isn't good. And that's just how it is. Hopefully this video could help with that. So just a quick touch up on everything. We're still on the Black Flame, maxed out. With skill damage, darkness damage, and crit damage. I will never get rid of this roll. The only thing that would be better is a 4th line with darkness attack or a 4th line with crit chance. And that is like winning the lottery. These two weapons, you only want to worry about leveling up their passives and getting equipment attack on them. This equipment attack applies to the 30% that is provided from sub-weapons. The outfit, we rolled over to some skill damage and crit chance instead of crit damage because of diminishing returns. It's better if you spread out your skills and your percentages instead of putting them all into crit damage. Now this guide is under the assumption you have at least Manny or Daisy. If you're missing both of these units, the game is just not going to be easy for you, and that's unfortunately how it is. So later in this video, I'm going to try to showcase everything without Daisy, but what's changed with this new setup is we need to focus everything into magic charging. And I mean everything. So on the book, magic charging. On the armor, magic charging. On the sublines and the chance-based, magic charging if possible. You want magic everywhere. Same thing with Manny, we have magic charging on the weapon. I'm trying to get it on the armor. We have magic charging on this necklace, or these earrings right here. The necklace can actually have magic charging on it as well. As you can see right here, necklaces can roll magic charging. It can also roll that on golds, I just don't have any. If you have that, use it. So the perfect setup would be magic charging on these earrings, which is always on these earrings. Magic charging chance based on the necklace. And magic charging is always on this ring. Nothing's different with Hauser. If you have blazing nunchucks, use that instead. But we have magic charging on the nunchucks. Trying to get it on here. We have the exact same accessories. Now you pretty much get the gist of it. You just need magic. And we changed over to the 3 set. Another thing, people keep talking about my meat, man. Kinda weird. But I'm gonna show you why and how I have that much. So if you come over here to the Fairy King Forest and the Western Wasteland, it's right here on the map. I labeled it Bird Farm. Now what you want to do is just come over here, jump in the chest, stand still, pushy, loot, log out, log back in. Everything's gonna respawn. Load in, pushy, loot, log out, and repeat. Now the reason I do it this way is because I literally just watched The Boys season 4 and caught up like with season 5 on my side monitor, and I just sat here and did this. I think around in March, mob farming used to be very beneficial. You got a bunch of gold, a bunch of fragments, a bunch of weapon drops to salvage for more fragments. So mob farming used to actually be very lucrative. I can show you my backpack. I basically have like a lifetime supply of some stones, like these mastery essences and these stones. I did this for maybe 2 or 3 hours a day for like a week or two, and that gives you plenty of meat. I was also going for the Master Chef title, which was a nice benefit for doing this. Alright, let's get into the actual gameplay loop of what you do nowadays with the new melee team. So first off, you eat some food. We're going to use Furs of Mines as an example since it is not Darkness Week, and it's just the fastest that we can demonstrate this. Now, if your team is very similar to mine, your rotation is going to be pretty much the same, but based on who has your blazing weapon, you're going to start the rotation with them. So for me, I'm going to start it with Manny. So we're going to Q on Daisy, come over to Manny, we're going to normal attack, QE, swap to Hauser, tag skill, QE, swap to melee, combo ult. Now we make these 5 orbs very quick with the 3 set from Hauser. Oh my bad, I have the 3 set on Daisy, but the 3 set of this basically generates 2 orbs instantly. So we're going to reapply our Daisy Q because I was yapping. We're going to normal attack, Q, E, swap, Q, E, swap, combo ult. We're gonna go straight into our damage. Sometimes the damage is bad, sometimes it's good, but you know, that's the gist of it. Now, something that is very, very annoying right now. This accessory set has a 300-second cooldown. So in order to refresh that every time, I log out. Hopefully they fix this soon, because every time you log out, you lose your food buff. And it's just not fun to do. But it's what you kind of have to do to farm this stuff back to back. All under the assumption that you're solo, by the way. Now, if you don't have Daisy, the second best is going to be Elaine. She also generates a massive amount of magic on her book. If you don't have Elaine, you're going to have to use Slater. I could show that as well. Alright, so now that we have this team, we need to generate 6 orbs to combo ult with melee. So my rotation is mainly going to be the same, except I'm just going to go through all of my skills. As you can see there, we actually made 7 orbs, which is more than enough. So as you can see with Elaine, that was very, very easily done. Now this team right here is like the bare minimum, like the super free to play. You still have Manny, but the game's given us 3 selectors, and if you don't have Manny by now, I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to do the exact same with Slater, but we're going to go through all of our skills, charged Q at the end, and then go straight into burst. Hopefully this covered everything for the people that are all like, oh, I can't play the game without Daisy. Oh, I can't do this without Daisy. You can. And I promise you, if my melee was P6, I'd be doing something very similar. It would just be like 4 or 5 seconds slower. Now, of course, you're free to use any burster you want. You have Deanne for Earth with the Adventurer Gauntlets because it gives you basically 13% more than any other weapon will. And then you use the Cheerful Girl outfit, that's her burst set, because it has Earth burst efficiency on it. And of course, on your bursters, you're always going to want to have this 3-set piece on them. Earth burst efficiency, fire burst, anything that matches the character helps significantly as well. For Jericho, we're using ice, of course. We're going to use these ambush dual blades since they fit her kit perfectly. You have her Holy Knight armor with the burst efficiency, and level doesn't really help that much. You're going to want to put the twisted set on her as well. Now for wind, you could use Clotho, or you can use the new Tristan setup. This new Tristan setup is much, much better. You do need him P7 for the extra skill, I believe. Well, to clarify, you don't need him P7, but it makes him much better. So on Tristan, we obviously have his Wind Burst outfit. We have the new Longsword that gives you a lot of burst efficiency, 30% if you max this out. Now for Fire, we have her on the Fire Rapier. This is a great example. All of your burst units are going to want to look something like this. The blue weapon for the 12% extra, the Fire Burst roll, or Fire Burst outfit, passive level helps as well, stuff like that. A good stat line to look for is about 90% total. So you can see we have 60% fire and then 33% all. And then for lightning, we have Gil Thunder on the same longsword that Tristan uses. Now for Gil, I'm pretty sure you need him P10 to feel good, which kind of sucks, but you can do it perfectly fine without P10. And of course, we're using his lightning burst outfit. Alright, that should cover all of our bases for bursters. We have lightning, wind, fire, ice, earth. Now to prove my info isn't really useless, you know, I'm top 10 in Dragon, rank 1 in Spider, and this can't really compete in it because it's Clotho only competition, but you know, this should be good enough. Now to make it short, hopefully any new player watching this is not going to skip Melee. Get him to at least P7, and you will not regret it, I promise. Alright, I think that about covers all the new and updated information. Tomorrow I'll probably make a video on how to clear Sector 4 with Melee. Because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to keep using him until he's useless. Now, the next update is right around the corner, so if I need to make another one of these, I'll keep you guys updated. For the people that are using Melee to pretty much beat the whole game and do everything. But yeah, for now, that's about it. I think I covered everything I wanted to. Leave a like on the video, thanks.